Here's why you struggle to stay on track at the weekends. So I'm just gonna get straight to the point on this one. So for many people, the weekends are the hardest time to stay on track, right? And what often happens is this: Monday to Friday, your nutrition's great, your hydration's great, and then the weekend comes and you just slide off. And actually, it's not actually the weekend, it's more about Thursday, Friday night. So it's more of a good for 4.5 days, but struggle for the other 2.5 days, right? So what is that? Why does that happen? Well, it's very simply this. And this is something I've observed a lot when working with the ladies that I work with, women who are ambitious, focused, want to achieve in life. And what happens is this, that the weekend, it's almost like a pressure cooker, right? So let me give you the analogy. Um, when I was younger, I used to always see mum and dad cooking with the pressure cooker. And it's like your week has become your pressure cooker, right? And what used to happen is if you let the pressure get too much on the old pressure cookers, what would happen is it would just go bang and it would just explode. And most of the ladies I work with are doing exactly that. They're living their week, so Monday to Friday, with a big pressure cooker lid on. What does that mean? Well, simply this: you're trying to cram everything into Monday to Friday. So then what happens is you get to the weekend, it's like, woo, let it go. Let me relax. Let me do what I want. Okay, so what happens then? Because your body, your brain, everything that you do is built on rhythms. But you're doing the 5 days and then you're just breaking that rhythm with 2 days of just randomness. Okay, so we eat out more, we eat late, we wake up late, which is obviously a massive impact on circadian rhythm. And it's not your fault. What's happened is that we work so hard, and obviously for most people who've been, working a 9 to 5 for so long, it feels like you work so hard, so that when the weekend comes, you just want to just relax down tools. And that's what we've been conditioned to believe, that we have to cram so much into the week that the weekend is for just down in tools. Okay, but you're missing a big portion of the week. Okay, it's like a third of the week on those 2 days. And I remember speaking to a client about this who was struggling to sort out the weekend. So her nutrition would just go totally off plan the weekend. So we sat down, and here's what you have to do. We sat down and we went through her week. Okay, we went through 2 weeks of her typical week. We looked at her work, her social life, what she did with the kids, etc. And what we found was she was doing exactly that. She was cramming everything into Monday to Friday to live for the weekend, which means then she wasn't creating a life that she wanted to live. Okay. So this is about, having the life you want to live, not one that you have to endure for 5 days and then you want to jump out of it. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense, ladies. Just if anyone's watching live. Okay. This is what happens. This is exactly what happens. We do this Monday to Friday, big hard work, and actually we talked about it and we looked at the time and what she was doing. And I went through her calendar and I would say, well, is that critical to happen this week? Can it happen on a Sunday? Could that happen on a Saturday? What happened was she started to even out the week. Started to see the weekend as time where you can do things that you would normally do in the week. And that way, she then started to notice this, that during the week, Monday to Friday, she went to sleep earlier because she wasn't trying to cram so much in. There wasn't this what we call reverse sleep procrastination, right? So it's where you cram so much in because you've got no you time. Because remember, you're only leaving the weekend for your you time. She felt a bit more at ease. It's not so stressed. She could run her business, spend time with her kids, but she could do that over 7 days rather than trying to do it over 5. Does that make sense, ladies? Let me know if I'm hitting some. Hey, Joe. Yeah, so Joe, what's probably happening, and hey, Donna, what's happening is that you're Monday to Friday, you're being trying to be so perfect with work, with eating, etc. But if you look at over 7 days, it gives you so much more time. Think about it, right? If you've got 24 hours, 5 times 24, I don't even know what it is. Hey, mine, how are you? If you've got 5 days, 5 times 24 hours, why wouldn't you use 7 times 24 hours to actually be able to achieve more, but achieve more with ease? There's so much pressure to be this amazing person Monday to Friday, then the weekend you just crash and burn. Why do we do that to ourselves? So this client, we literally went through a week, we moved things so she could do some things Saturday morning. And at one point she was like, oh, the first couple of weeks, it was like, oh my God, Greg, if this feels like I'm working on a Saturday. And I said, okay, no, great. But here's the question. Have you spent more time with your child, with your son? But yes. Have you spent more time with your partner? Yes. Have you got everything that you need to do for your work done? Yes. Have you been able to eat out and enjoy things in the week as well? She's like, yeah. I said, so now you've just created your lifestyle. And this is why we can't stay on track at the weekends. We got this pressure cooker at the week in the week, Monday to Friday. Go hard, go hard, go hard. Weekend, oh, let it all go. And then we start again on Monday, right? We start all over again on Monday. Do it again, right? This week is going to be the week that I'm going to stay on track. I'm going to be really, really good about my nutrition. And then all of a sudden, what comes around? The weekend. Yeah. Who feels like this makes sense to them? Who's done this before? So the question you got to ask yourself is when you're going to kind of free yourself from the matrix of I have to do so much Monday to Friday. Why not just use the week to be a longer week? Use the time afforded to you. And it's a big paradigm shift from doing that classic Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 mindset, where the week is Monday to Sunday. You've got a whole 7 days to be able to create, enjoy, have fun with your life. And this is what's happening. I see business owners, senior leaders in management, they're pressure cooking everything so much into that week. And, I've got a client in a minute actually, we're talking, and she's now talking to her boss about working less hours during the week, but working a little bit on Saturday, which means she can live the life she wants. Guess what? Her nutrition's going to be better. She's going to stay more hydrated. She'll be able to live the life that she wants. Yeah. So, ladies, when you're going to free yourself from the paradigm of I have to be so focused and perfect in all areas of my life, because it's not just your diet. Okay, this is never just about the diet. It's about the pressure, the mindset that you're living with. Exactly, Donna. Today, yeah, perfect. So you're gonna, go and do some of the things you had to do today at the weekend. But we've been so conditioned into this mindset of the Monday to Friday is working time, Saturday, Sunday is for, ah, when if you're trying to create a life that you really love, then do less of the worky, admin stuff during the week. Because everything's online nowadays, ladies, anyway. So, the internet mostly doesn't know when you're doing stuff. It works 24 hours, right? So you can now start to portion your time out to do things. So then you can book in things like meal prep, doing your prep, doing your plan for your shopping list. Like who here plans their food for the week? Who here plans their food for the week? Do you plan your food for the week? Because if you do, then it makes your life easier. But one of the common things is we don't have time to plan. But if you created a week that was longer rather than the classic Western 9 to 5 week, it would make your life so much easier. And of course, this is one of the parts of the things you need to have in place in order to have the fit, strong body that you want that will match your goals and dreams. You're going to have a few things in place as well: the correct nutrition strategy, the correct training strategy as well. You're going to have to fix the habits or work on the habits that you've got. Then you're going to need support. Once you've got all of those things aligned, then this tactic is part of it. Okay, so it all fits together, and that's kind of what I cover in all of my program, the Empowered Body Method, where we work through all of these things to make sure you never have to try and lose weight again. And guess what? This is something I've just realized as well, that for some of you, this is not going to be a 12-weeker. And I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here because it just came into my mind. as often these things do. Like, I've realized something. My idol, Usain Bolt, one of my idols. Let's see, Michael Johnson, Michael Jordan, Shelly-Ann Fraser, a lot of the sports people that I look up to have had the same coach for a long time. It's really interesting because what we do is generally we kind of do these quick, let me fix it quick programs, right? We see the end goal. And I've realized that we con ourselves. Well, Joe, there's a reason why you struggle to stick to that plan. That's for another live though. Um, Here's my thing. Where was I? Yeah, so it's just I think there's an issue with the kind of wellness fitness industry in that we have this notion that 12 weeks is going to be enough. And I've realized because I used to have a 12-week program and now it's a minimum 16 weeks because I realized that people need longer. And the people that get fantastic results and changes in their life are the ones who work with me the longest. Really weird that. Like Usain Bolt didn't do a 12-week training program with his coach and then go on and win like 3 Olympic golds or 4 Olympic golds for the 100 meters after. He had a long-term coaching plan. But we're so fixated on this, got to lose this weight in X amount of time. And I found that the ladies I work with are actually transforming on a deeper level now. And it's really something that I'm really loving at the minute. The client group I've got now, we're exploring so many different things other than just nutrition. You know, how many steps they're doing. We're looking at their identity, how they're making shifts in how they show up for the world, how they operate with their friends and families, how they operate. We're looking at the software that's installed in here. So I'm gonna leave it on that for the minute, ladies. But I hope that was useful. Went for a bit of a tangent there. But you know, this is not it's not necessarily a 12-week thing. I've realized that people need longer than they think. Like if you think about it, even if you worked for a year with a coach solid, that's 1/40th, let's say, if you're 40 years old, of your life. But yet we tell our children, oh, you know, it's going to take time. You need to do the work. You've got to do the hard work. Oh, where's that 6-week program? I want to lose all my belly fat in 6 weeks. Just doesn't fit, does it? Anyway, I'm Oski. Have an awesome rest of your afternoon, and I'll see you on my next live. That's how you stay on track. 7-day week, not 5-day week. Talk soon.